Hey everybody, this is Shaheen Sarani with Team Face to Face Games, and we are here with a little bit of Esper Control to the surprise of no one. It's cool to be playing a deck that's considered in the discussion for the best deck in Standard, especially when it's a deck that I know and love and put a lot of time into. There's a lot of versions of this list that kind of like spawned early on into the format. But the list that I've been commanding this whole time hasn't changed much, and it's cool to see most decks come around to the list that I provided. You'll notice that Chromium is falling off a lot of lists. I've been a strong proponent of how bad that card is. It's not good against control because, as you can see, we have a bunch of Kai's Wraths in every control deck. Aggro, it's horrific. Mid-range decks doesn't block well against them. It's just a weak card in Standard. um, the purest version should just have 4 Teferi to win. But because of Bant Nexus being in deck and other Nexus of Fate strategies, you have to play 1 Dawn of Hope or play 1 Win Condition in order to kill them. Otherwise, I didn't know this at the beginning, they go to 7 cards in hand with no permanence after getting Teferied, and then they just discard Nexus of Fates and they continuously shuffle back, so you actually can't deck them and it would end in a draw. So you need 1 Win Condition in the main deck, and I put Dawn of Hope in there, and I've been really happy with it. It turns Absorb into Cryptic Command. You draw a card, counter spell, gain a bunch of life. You add card draw to your Brass's Contempt. You add it to your Moment of Craving. And then, of course, itself has life gain implications on its own. So it's been a pretty cool one of them. I really liked it. But the only difference between my list now and the mainstream lists that have come to resemble my list are they're still attached to Chemist's Insight. And as you guys know, if you've followed my work me on social media, Chemist's Insight is a very weak card draw spell. It's not Glimmer of Genius. It doesn't guarantee land number 5. It's actually a pretty loose play to try to hit your 5th land compared to Glimmer of the Past, or now Read the Bone / Notion Rain, which is in our card draw spot, our Chemistry spot, because this really does guarantee land drop hitting. 4 cards deep to hit lands. More importantly, land number 4 for Kaya's Wrath, because you can't delay on that. That's the difference between a win and a loss there. Chemist's Insight, again, shares a spot of a very cluttered curve area. 4 is really your sweeper area, and it's also an area where you want to make sure you hit that 4th land. And the other lists of Esper have kind of come around to not playing a lot of card draw in the early game like I haven't. I've been very spoiled by Thought Erasure. That's what we bank on, hitting our early land drops. And I write about this extensively in my articles and I post on social media. So if you want more insight on the actual deck building process, make sure to look me up and read them. So today we're just going to go through a league. I guess it's not called league, it's called a traditional constructed tournament. I don't really like the ladder play, mainly because I like to win stuff right away. I'll never have the time to grind to the number 1 of Mythic proportions here and qualify for the Invitational. I'll just never. I don't have. Maybe 10, 15 years ago, I would have been able to make that run, but at this point in my life, we're just going to be playing for the here and now and what we can do with Grand Prix, Opens, and Mythic Championships. All right, so let's play a little Esper Control. Last time I recorded here on Face to Face, we played against a few rogue decks. Lately, I have not been running into a lot of rogue decks. We've been testing for Pro Tour or for Mythic Championship Cleveland. So we have the arena metagame is really clamped down, and you see a lot of people that they've unlocked enough cards to build competitive decks. So you don't have a whole lot of wacky stuff out there. So it's been pretty good testing recently. bit of a slower hand, but it's a keeper. We got ourselves a nice little black-green strategy here. Probably Sultai, I would guess. The old Sultai list used to get us real bad, but now Kaya's Wrath has made Carnage Tyrant kind of a threat from the past. Still, we don't want to see it, but it's a lot easier to defeat these days. So, there's an argument to playing a tap lane here, because there's probably nothing I'm going to negate, but even having the option to do so is still pretty relevant. More likely going to be a creature here. There's no real spells at this point. Their spells they have main deck are like Find Finality, Vraska's Contempt, Cast Down. Oh, Jun. So, maybe there is a spell. Maybe some enchantment we can negate. Oh, creature. So we want this to be a big one. Take a little damage and we'll mortify it. So, at this point now, we still need to just counter spells he's playing, and hopefully we hit second black. That'd be really helpful. I might let Wild Growth Walker resolve here. It depends if, and then mortify it, just because there's less of a clock there, and we can't let this resolve. So we plan on killing that Jade Light Ranger. Midnight Reaper is bad news for us, even though we have Contempt. We don't have the second black yet, so we gotta be cautious of that. And there it is. So we play right away. So it turns on our more expensive removal. You always want to use this more expensive removal because the next turn you have Mortify and Negate to counter like a Find Finality. So he could have Vivian, so we're just going to take the 4 right now. He's more likely not going to play it if he has it into all this mana we have open. But if we Vraska's Contempt pre-combat, he will play it. These are all very weak things. I hit this. I hate how it pauses like they have something, so you probably have a cast down. There's a pause there. I don't like to use that knowledge, but you know, it'd be silly not to at least acknowledge it when they do it to us. The one, John Stern wrote a really good article about some of the different flaws of just organized play in arena, competitive arena, and one of them is that it's glaringly obvious when they have something and when they don't have something. So he's probably going to keep the Vraska's Contempt, which makes our negate pretty good when we do get to Deferiate. So we're going to Mortify here to ensure that we have negate in case there's Find Finality again. Easy choice here. This matchup used to be a lot worse when they had, when we didn't have 4-mana Wraths. Like, the Wrath is just so good. Alright, so we know he has Contempt, so we're going to actually have to just pass turn here. Wait till we draw land, so we can back it up. Alright, now we could... I'm actually going to let it resolve. I was going to just snap negate it, but it's better to let this resolve, because now we can defend our Teferi. Let him have a card out of it.
Beasts are much more reliable than humans.
He's probably shocked that it resolved. But it's more important to negate this Vraska's Contempt, I think. So he has, I think he has Cast Down is his hidden card here. Making pretty good news for us.
I won't hide from the world any longer.
Oh, the blue-black land, do we? So we're looking pretty good this game. It's, you know, this is kind of how the games play out. It used to be a lot tougher with Ritual Soot, and also when they played a few more answers to Planeswalkers. They're down to a couple contempts, and they play a lot of Chupacabras and a lot of things that don't interact with us. So a lot of dead cards makes this matchup a lot better than it used to be. Ooh, spicy meatball. Not good enough though, huh?
Let's skip to the good part.
So, you know, this is the way I want to play Magic. You know, we're gonna go ahead and contempt this, and we're just gonna counter everything else he plays for the rest of the game. That's the plan. There's some argument to holding that contempt, but I'm pretty confident at this point. We have Teferi to tuck anything that's threatening, and we have Absorbs to handle the rest of the board. I want to keep his loyalty going up, so we can get into a quicker ultimate. So normally I'd let this resolve, but because we have a second Absorb, and I'm pretty sure he has a Cast Down, that's his other card. Oh wow. Alright, so he's playing some nasty stuff here. Sorry. So our opponent is
I'm not done yet.
playing a few rogue cards, so which is fine. At least the meat of the deck is pretty consistent, so they probably have access to a lot of similar or some very similar cards. Now this is the tricky part. We don't want to absorb here because we could get rightfully punished off the top. But you know what? We're going to gamble it. I don't think our opponent has anything. So it would have to be the top card. I really want to ultimate this Teferi. They're going to discard a Cast Down here to cast Risk Factor again. Or Moment of Craving or something. Probably Cast Down. There's the Cast Down. Alright, so unfortunately we could have probably used this to protect it. Yeah, so we are just now we are at the mercy of his top or their top deck. Calculated risk. Holding the Absorb probably better. His two blind cards probably could have dealt with the J Light Ranger. Now we wait. Wait for the ultimate. Absorb really changed the game. You gain 9 life off it. It makes the burn matchup so much better. It allows us to play very minimal removal. I have emotes off too, by the way, so our opponent could be spamming us or something. So saying you're good doesn't really do a whole lot except for tilt people even more, so they're just tilted. No one likes having all their spells countered, all their creatures killed. So while we wait for this salty opponent, so go ahead and do your thing. Actually, not that bad. So let's grab his emblem here.
With each turn of the clock,
Let's go ahead and get
reality
a
will crumble.
scry on. Yeah, no. I mean, opponent can't win. I'm gonna leave that there anyway. I don't have a bet.
Keep up the pace.
Don't see how risk factor ever helps like this deck. Oh, do I have 61 cards? Oh baby. Last minute I changed I added the Moment of Craving in, and I was going to figure out to either cut a Notion Rain or a Negate or Precog and Perception, just because of the increase in mono blue, I thought. So that's really funny. So I'm going to go down to 60 cards. There's some 61 fans out there. I've never played a 61 card deck in the competitive tournament, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so against this match I bring Twilight Prophet. I really like the toughness on this card. I really like its ability to block, and usually they're going to shave down the removal spells. Syncopate comes in. Assuming they board out Land of War Elves, which doesn't always happen, I bring an Eldritch Reborn in the matchup. Just for the defense against some tough cards for us to beat. Cast Down is fantastic as the removal spell. I shave a Mortify here. I shave a Kaya's Wrath. I shave a Negate. I shave Dawn of Hope. And then that leaves us the option of having the Eldritch Reborn as our win condition to go with our other spells here. I've also bring in sometimes if I really think they're going light on removal on the play, I'll bring in Thief of Sanity, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. So I like this setup. Let's go ahead and fire this one off here. Oh, we need to put one back. Oh, we can't escape it. We're 61 cards in. Yeah, we have a 61 card deck, so it won't allow us to have. It won't allow us to board a 60. Well, fine. 61 cards it is. I really do like this hand. This is another hand where if you had Chemistry's Insight in this hand, it's just so much worse. It's just hard to put into words how much I dislike the card. Alright, so we're going to lead off with this number here. Second cast down is kind of a little redundant in our hand, but as long as he doesn't duress this Notion Rain out of our hand, I'm feeling pretty good. Alright. So Jade Light Ranger here. We slay it. We Notion Rain. We hit some land drops. Oh, I was afraid of that game one, and we took out a Mortify too, so that could be very problematic for us. Oh, what do you know? Maybe I keep both these. You got to discard. So we're gonna go down. I feel like we can go down to Contempt or to Fairy. Teferi's risky if we get Thoughtseize, so I'm going to discard a Contempt. Yeah, because if he takes or duress, if he duress us, that'd be a huge issue. Right now I'm trying to decide if we're going to shock in order to kill this creature and then the next creature he plays, instead of dealing with rhythm right away, which is kind of what I'm feeling at this point. Because we also want to represent that we have an answer for a planeswalker. So I don't think firing off the Mortify here is the best play. I want to represent, because again, I want them to play carefully and calculated, and with rhythm out, there's a high likelihood that he just runs a creature out over a planeswalker as long as he has that in play. And then we have the option. We can either cast down, or contempt, depending on what he plays. Interesting. We still have negate, bluff. Risk factor. Let's take our 4 damage. Wow. We're actually being pressured by it this time. So we could play this, and we die to Carnage Tyrant. But we're looking pretty soft to Carnage Tyrant anyway, so I'm going to play this. We don't have the Kaya's answer for it at the moment. So I'm going to do the best play, I think, to put us for victory formation. We still have a cast down. There's not much that can kill us here besides land Tyrant. That's unfortunate. I think we're losing our absorb here. Unless our opponent really wants to keep that rhythm out. I really thought rhythm was going to be a backbreaker for control decks, and it's luckily the card's not great against anything else. I mean, it's pretty embarrassing against like mono blues, rise, and red. Just an embarrassing card against a lot of decks. So I'm surprised our opponent took Mortify, because we have to Fairy to answer their rhythm, but we'll see where this rabbit hole goes. Dealing us the damage. Just take it. 3 life. That's all we got left. Okay. So let's go ahead and get rid of this number.
Reverse.
Now this gives us enough mana to cast what we need here. I used to be afraid at 3 life, and now just the way life is now, the way Magic is, we got all these absorbs.
Hurry.
Feeling pretty good.
time for a break.
So we are now just, you know, chugging along here, plus an Arteferi. We're going to counter this rhythm. And then put us to a life total, a very healthy life total. Our opponent may not want to cast it just if they have some plan to get those last few points of damage in through an absorb. Maybe a risk factor in response to force us. But 6 life. Very healthy life. Alright, that's my favorite card in the set.
I'm not done yet.
This is why we play the game. Control mages rejoice when we cast this one. Now let's go ahead and bottom these. We'll keep a little erasure, see the last card. Could be. I want to see Banefire. Give me the Banefire. Cast down. They know our secrets. They know we have a secret sideboard. Do I have more land in our future? Okay, what you got? I don't want to get a 2, to be honest. Because we're going to have to counter the second one anyway. I like to counter the first one. Give us more information. Alright, I don't know. The scry on this is, I think, is good because there's not many cards that he's going to draw and then hold.
Hold that thought.
I have a funny feeling we're going to get Banefired soon. By funny, I mean sick feeling. We're going to take this one. And hope another risk factor's not our future. Another cast down. 2 life points. That's funny. Can we survive a Banefire now? 5, 8. I exactly died of Banefire. What to discard? I think we can safely remove one of these. Oh, gain some life. It's the 61st card there. There's a negate we threw back in. So our opponent is Banefire or Bus coming up. Keeps highlighting Arteferi. Sure. Now we're out of Banefire range. Limited bomb. Now we are safe from the fire.
I don't do this lightly.
Our opponent was roping us the first game, so there's a chance that they
keep up the pace.
Stick around for a bit. Unfortunate side effect. Write down our matches here. So Jun 2-0. Alright, round 2. 61 card deck. I'm not changing it for anything. That's fine. Alright. This hand is a mulligan. This hand's keep. I am Simic Guildgate. I really like the Guildgate matchup. We can kill a lot of creatures. It really boils down to countering the enchantment. So, due to that, we're going to just pass a turn. Guild summits is what I'm talking about. Didn't mean to play the Gallows Shrine there, but it's fine. There it is. No. No, no, no. Absolutely not. So we can dodge it again. We're looking pretty good. Yikes. What is that? Do you have any creatures? What? Alright. Oh, so lucky. Alright, let's get rid of this thing.
I'm known. Let's take it back.
Interesting. Vivian, huh? With your 8 creatures? Oh, that is unfortunate. So they're going to draw 3, and then we're going to have to mortify it. Oh, draw 1. So we're going to... Why and 1? Why not the maximum?
We need to move.
I do not understand what our opponent is doing, but I will destroy this. Now, the question is, do we want to have negate and absorb up? And the answer is yes. So we cannot cast a search. The reason being is because our opponent's going to cast Vivian and Ram, or not Vivian and Ram, but Ram and possibly something else, and we need to counter both those cards. We can't allow either, like anything at all. 2 Rams is bad. Oh, we were bailed out. We had perception, and we had like a few other things we could have done. We probably could have easily dig to a removal spell, but obviously this is just clean, good old fun here. Now we'll play search. So I'm just going to slam the Vivian. I'm going to negate it. Life will be good. 7th card of the graveyard. No, sir, no ma'am. No, not happening. People have expressed concern about this matchup, and I have not shared the same difficulty. It's a lot of goofy stuff going on over there, but it does boil. I mean, I haven't seen Vivian in lists, but you gotta be careful not get rammed out of the game. So they have Colossus. They have a few. So I bring Profane Procession because it's just so good against their creatures. Colossus and Ram. Vivian makes this card a little bit worse, but we have a lot of targets for them. Dawn of Hope is no good. I always board out Dawn of Hope unless it's like Control Mirror. It's a good game 1 card. I just don't think you need it games 2 and 3. You have better win conditions. So Kaya's Wrath is a card I go down a lot on. Maybe 0 or 1. Oh, the Craving's out. So this is kind of like what it looks like right now. I do like to bring in some of the creatures, though. Definitely on the play. On the play, 4 Thieves come in. On the draw, I'm not a huge fan. I do want to try Twilight Prophet against them. I lied, I don't. Not on the draw. On the draw, you got to be strict on the draw. We just really want to answer all their cards. Maybe even the Kai's Wrath's just worse than a cast down here. There are sideboard creature plans that have a lot of... They can play a few more threats. So Kai's Wrath keeps them honest, but I think cast down is fine. Let's deploy this. Oh yeah, I forgot we have 61 cards. Son of a gun. You know what, let's get one spicy one of these numbers in there. Oh no! No! I don't think I clicked done in time. Alright, go sideboard. Whoops. Oh, we were sideboardless, ladies and gentlemen. I kept it kind of quickly. I know there's no white, but search is this a card that allows us to keep hands like this. We will have white in the near future. Sadly, we have a bunch of Kai's Wraths and things. Opponent had us pause there. Interesting. Probably going to lose this game because we just have a bunch of crap in our deck right now. No land. No land, you say, huh? Look, we're land screwed too. Opponent probably has a counter spell of some sort. Playing very reactive. Not trying to grow spiral main phase to hit land.
Hurry!
Alright, we won't have to get punished for missing the sideboard quick. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. Alright, let's get a third match going here. I don't know if we'll have time for a full 5. One of these days when I'm playing Mono Red for you guys, we'll have the time to do so. But I do not have such time. Yeah, this is probably going to be our last one here. But both those decks are played. I mean, people do play Jund, and the Gates deck is pretty popular. I play against it frequently, and I think it's actually a pretty good deck. It's not Esper good, but it's good. 61 cards, everybody. It's the future. Don't try this at home. Keep it 60. Alright, so this does not come play untapped, so we need to play this. Do we have our plans to get our Isolated Chapel online? Alright, so we got a little Is It Drake action here. They have a lot of spell pierces, so we might get pierced. We don't. Thank God. That would be tragic. That's not a land. So, I actually want to just fire this one off here. Because I'd rather keep our cheaper removal for an instant speed removal so much better against them. I think Mortify is much better later in the game. And we're going to draw. We have 4 copies of Kaya's Wrath to chug through, so. So our opponent probably has a Spell Pierce, but you know what? We have a lot of Teferi, so we're going to try it. Always can be aggressive with the first one. We have Search, we want to flip it. It's really the next couple that we need to be careful about. 3 less to flip this. So we're going to pass turn here. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go ahead and hit it with that Craving. There's a dive down possibility here. It's all good. Alright, I love this matchup, by the way. This is one that's just been historically good for control since Drake's has been a thing. Unfortunately, they didn't cast a spell for us to flip our search this turn. Ooh, I like this one. Yeah, let's take a look. What you got over there? Okay, I'll take this one. Game 1 is so fun, isn't it, everybody? For you Esper fans out there and you Control fanatics, this is why we play the deck. We're clunkier, we got goofy cards in our deck, but we have so few dead cards where they are just loaded. We're going to put this on top so we can't get Spell Pierced. So no Spell Piercing for us. Safe.
Keep up the pace.
Oh, you're looking good. Do your worst. It was scary for a bit when they were playing a couple Niv Mizzet, but since that has dead and gone, I'm pretty confident this matchup is pretty tough to lose.
Hold that thought.
Our opponent's a trooper, so they're going to stick around. I'm always main phasing this. That's on all the good stuff. Let's take a look. What's the last card you added? Burn us. Dive down. We could have held open for more searching, and he probably had bad cards in his hand. But at this point in the game, I always try to. I should have untapped the Water Grave, but I try to make it quick and painless for him. I want to get our opponents out of here. And this is kind of a flaw in my game. I really feel bad just putting them through this. So. Like, let me hurry up. I'll kill you quick.
No time for a break.
Alright, let's give you a Kaya's Wrath. Yeah, at this point in the game, opponent 0%.
need to move quickly.
We haven't drawn Dawn of Hope yet. Where is our Dawn of Hope? I'm going to main phase search, but it looks like we'll have to discard a bunch of cards if I do this anyway. You may opt. Oh, don't tap my search, you dirty auto tapper. Let's see what we would have got.
Let's skip to the good part.
All these cognitive cards left and possible outs. Like this is, we're almost to the point of irritation, but there's Dawn of Hope. We'll just kill our friend here with this the fun way.
Keep up the pace.
Yeah, it's like at one point. Okay, so 61 card special. We're gonna bring in Procession. This is the reason why the sideboard card is here. It's so good against them. Gross against them. We want another cast down, just other hard ways to kill their creatures. Syncopate to counter their drakes on the draw, and that's about it for this matchup. Cards like Kai's Wrath, we have some mediocre cards, but like Dawn of Hope is the one that goes again. Notion Rain on the draw is kind of loose. Kai's Wrath is a 4 of, is just not where you want to be. Typically they have 1 creature, 2 creatures, and the spot removal game is really the way to get them. So I like shaving 2 of these and going this setup here. Notion Rain again is one of those, it's a close call. Oh, we have a Moment of Craving in here. So I think Moment of Craving you just can't play. Not in this Drake world. If you have on the play again, I like to test them if they board out Lava Coil. So sometimes on the play I like to jam the Twilight Prophet, but we haven't been going on the play game 3 yet, so we haven't had a chance to really see it shine. Kind of want to just bring it in. I think I'm just going to bring it in just because anyway. Just maybe we draw it and you guys can see how cool it is in application. Negate. The third negate is also in the discussion. That would be over like a Notion Rain. I think we're just going to run with the 2 negates of the Syncopate with the Absorbs. Let's do that. All right. Yeah. Never fails to find me the 1 or 2 Kai's Wrath. So all just lock that into the opening hand or the immediate hand. So Perimander's out. Or Petromander. Alright, let's take a look at that. That's working. Okay. I like taking Chart a Course here a lot with a hand like this and letting him kind of flounder. They can main phase, our opponent will main phase Shimmer to have Spell Pierce, but you know, I'm not too worried about our life total at this point. I don't think they're going to get to do the things that they want to do here, because the other cards are kind of redundant. This is just straight card advantage. We're going to take this. Syncopate, I don't like it here. I want like a cast down, a removal spell, even some more land to like another white source in order to Kaya's Wrath. The one island's awkward in our deck. I just needed it. I hated the Dimir Guild Gate. It was obnoxious, so. So Shimmer's going to result in an island here, I'm sure. And the Spell Piercer back up, so still pretty far from this cooking our goose here. Maybe we can draw this Spell Pierce up. Okay. That's step one. Now we need to fight through negate. So 3 less, so now this costs 5 to activate. There's a lot of good draws in their deck that they can hit. Alright, let's pass it to them. More if that works. That's good news for us. There's no dive down and no second counter spell. This is our one time we're casting this in an instant. I like it. Very disciplined. This is a must negate for our opponent. Yeah. Put stuck here. If their last card's doo-doo, then they know we have powerful follow-up plays with the Teferi, possibly. Niv Mizzet's always, we'll keep an eye on that. But with the Kaya's Wrath, I'm kind of confident about it. Yeah. I think we do this due to the fact we have 2 Teferis with Mizzet. I really thought that would pull the negate out. I was wrong. And our opponent can't hold Niv Mizzet for too long because we have Thought Erasures. Like, eventually, and they only have like 2 copies of this card, so I'm confident that between Teferi our opponent is very disciplined with that negate. Ooh. So we're going to upkeep this perception. They didn't negate the first one. I don't know what his plan is, because he can't. This Niv Mizzet negate plan is not going to happen. If we did it on our turn, it'd be an easy negate, and that's why I wait till upkeep and make him waste his mana, or his or her mana. Okay. And if they play Niv Mizzet, then there's just no reason not to negate here. Doesn't make any sense. Like, the plays don't, like, this is incorrect play. Because we just have the cleanest answer possible here. I mean, we know we have this answer. And if I had another mana, I would just play Profane Procession so the game's over. I don't know if our opponent can actually beat that card. So. You see, this matchup is just so tough for them because all of our cards are haymakers. And our removal is clean, and their creatures don't have haste anymore, and they're not playing Electromancer to abuse like a abundance of spells. So they're playing the fair game with us, and it's just not where we want to be. So we're going to defend this procession. I just don't know if it's the time yet. I don't want to go to absolute war over it. So if we play this, we have enough to do Contempt and Absorb. I don't want to go to war on the... Because if we play Procession and Absorb it... Actually, that's perfect. Oh, actually it's perfect. We would have to exile them. Only way this bites us now if they have a Spell Pierce. Then we lose to Fairy. Yeah, this is a must negate. This card's unbeatable. Wow. Okay. Okay. I don't know about that one. We don't need to upkeep. He's not going to. Our opponent's drawing Niv-Mizzet, so they're not drawing Dive Down. I don't understand. I don't get it. So this will get the negate out for sure, which I would prefer out right now, because Teferi's dead anyway, so. And now it also forces the weight on Niv-Mizzet. Don't know about this play. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. We would have countered it, but you just gave up on it. All right.
Let's skip to the good part.
So that's 6. 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Let's get this one. The reason why I did it in this order is now they'll play Niv-Mizzet and we can untap with Absorb and Protection. Twilight Prophet. Boom. Such a sweet card. Oh, you had the dive down.
Don't make another move.
No thanks.
No time for a break.
You're gonna need like 11 more Niv-Mizzets, so you know we shouldn't count this, but I don't want my profit dying. So I'm gonna count it. All right. So good matches. Two real decks, and the Jund deck's a little bit on the loose side. Let's go back to look at this and fix it to 60 cards. I still think it's valuable because the list is pretty much where I want to be, and I just really don't know yet what the last cut is. It's metagame dependent because this extra moment of craving, I don't want it. The 3 removal spells have been plenty against everything but mono blue, but with the increase of mono blue's popularity, we're going to have to shave something. I'm heavily leaning toward Dawn of Hope, even though I really like the card, because even though you can't beat Bant Nexus, it's a draw, and you can just go to the next game, sideboarding games. When I actually came up at the Open, where you choose how many times with Teferi you're repeating the loop, and you just name it definitely. So it's between that and, like I said, Notion Rain or a Perception. So at this point on MTGO, I'm going to see how we survive with 1 Perception. So this is the list that you see. So we got 1 of, and then the rest 1 of 4s here. And if you want to see my updated list, just hit me up on Twitter. I have links to it right about all the time. So this is where I'm at right now. Pretty obvious mana base, 1 of each basic, 3 Godless Shrine, 4 of all the other duels. Here's the setup here, and the sideboard is a Syncopate, Reborn, a Lyra, a Prophet, 4 Thieves, a Procession. So you see all the different sideboard 1-ofs, and again, I post my list regularly for you guys too. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed a little Esper control, and I can't guarantee that the next session will have more Esper. I know I started off face-to-face here with a little Jeskai, but I really like Esper right now for obvious reasons. I've been clamoring for the mana base, and now that it's arrived, it's everything I expected it would be. So thanks for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.